Okay, so what we will do today, we'll be doing two things. We'll do our inequalities assignment, and then we'll start on ratio and proportion. Something, Maureen, that I know you love, right? No, it's really a nice tool. You can use it with so many things, and I think you'll find it fun. Okay, so Maureen, did you get a chance to look at the inequalities assignment?
Yeah, look at some there.
Okay, well, let's just take the first one. I'll have you read number one and tell me what is the inequality
Okay.
for this.
It is very cold today, and the temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Right, and equality that models the situation.
Okay, and the variable is T, right, for the temperature today.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what did you write for this one?
I write Steve.
Okay, so you wrote T. Let's just put here. T, what? What's the inequality symbol?
I write greater than or equal.
What is below?
Below is under.
That's right. So below is a less than, right?
Yeah,
So what should the inequality symbol be?
greater than.
But isn't below?
Yeah,
You just told me it's below means what? Greater or less?
less.
So what would the inequality symbol be?
Less than.
That's right. It would be less than 32, right? You
Yeah.
said lower. Lower means less, right?
Uh,
Lower means less. Okay, let's put this here. So that's the answer. The temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That means it's less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
uh,
So you would write T for temperature, less than symbol, 32. Got it?
uh.
Okay, Maureen, read B. Right over here.
B. Tom is buying groceries, and his monthly budget is $200. Right, and equality that models the situation.
So what would that be?
Okay.
Now you pick the inequality here. You pick whatever you want to use. I didn't give you something here, but you tell me what alphabet do you want to use for the inequality?
Okay, put X.
Okay, X. So what would be the inequality
Yeah.
symbol to show that the budget is $200?
Greater than?
If your budget is
No.
$200, can you spend more than 200?
No, less than.
So what would it be?
Less than $200.
Less than and of what?
Or equals.
That's right, because he could spend 200, but he
Yeah.
can't spend more than 200. So it has to be X less than or equal to 200.
Oh,
So let's get a less than or
I had it right back when I had
you had it.
200. I
What
had
did
it back
you?
when I had the 200 first and then or after.
You had no. You put the variable first,
Okay.
right?
Okay. We wrap it up for R.
No, you put the variable first. You're saying you call X the budget, so you're saying X less than or equal. Let's
Yeah.
just take
I
this.
had less than R. I just had the R end.
You didn't have the less than.
Yeah, I had the less than, but I had less than 200 R. The other way around.
What did you have, Maury?
I had I had less than 200 R.
Or what?
Nothing. Just I put the R. I should put the R before the 200. That's all.
Well, what does that mean? This is not a compound inequality. This is simple.
Mm-mm.
Remember, you don't use or and unless you have a compound.
Uh,
So this wouldn't be a or. This is just a simple
200.
inequality. And if the budget is 200, that means you can spend 200. You can spend less than 200, but you can't spend more,
Uh,
right? So it should be, you use X for the variable. So it should be X is either less than 200 or it could be equal to 200. So this symbol means less than or equal.
yeah.
Got it? No or now. Don't
Oh,
use or and unless it's a compound inequality. That means you'd have two conditions, right? Here you only have one. Okay.
um,
All right, Maureen. Let's go to 1C. And what did you have for this one? Read that one.
oh,
Tell me the
the
answer.
pool highest deck was more than 5 feet, right? And inequality, right?
And I
D,
gave D. Very good, because I
mm,
gave you the variable. And what's the inequality symbol?
more than or equal.
No. Read that first sentence again.
The pool highest deck was more than.
Okay, so what's the symbol for more than?
Just the ordinary V.
Just the ordinary what?
The ordinary symbol.
Okay, what is the ordinary
Fifth,
symbol?
more than.
So what's the symbol for more than?
You got to put the front of the V fit the. Always put the V. Put the V. You see that how you got here, but you 200, you put the other side.
Okay, that's right. There it is. D greater than
Yeah.
5.
See.
Because it says it was more than. So more than means greater than. So D greater than 5 feet. That's the answer. Okay, let's go to now. Like I said, Maureen, when you send these in, if you don't have those symbols, you could have said D and then spell it out. Greater than, greater, GREATER than. All right. Okay, and we have one more here. Bring that up so we can put that one. Okay, now read 1D, Maureen. Tell me what your answer is.
Okay. To get a near grade on your writing test, a grade must make a grade of at least 95. Right? And equality. So at least is more than.
What is at least?
More than or equals to the
That's right. Greater than or equal.
equal,
Now,
yeah.
what variable do you want to use here?
You can put an A.
Okay, A, and it must be greater
Greater
than.
than.
That's right, because you said at least, so
Yeah.
it's got to be a greater than or equal. Let's just grab one right here. There's a greater than or equal. And put that there. So A greater than or equal 95, right? That's it. Very good, Maureen. You remember that the at least means greater than or equal.
I know.
Wonderful. As you do more of these, they just kind of stick, right? Like Alma said, sometimes it sticks.
I know how to do this, but
I know you know how to do these, Maureen. Very good. Now, that's why we're going with the ratio proportion, because I think you pretty much have these. And unfortunately, something happened with my recording on Monday. So I've lost it. So that's unfortunate because Mercedes wasn't on. Now, Maureen, which is a solution to this inequality? C minus 9 greater than 16. So what do you do here?
Okay. I start try.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry I'm late.
Hello,
No
hello,
problem.
Mercedes. We're going through the assignment.
Okay, I'm sorry about this, Miss Barbara.
Okay. And Maureen is on number 2. So, Maureen, keep going. What did you say you did, Maureen?
What I did, I said C minus 9 greater than 16 is 25.
So what did you do to get 25?
I add the 9 to the 16.
That's right. You add the 9 to both sides.
Yeah,
And 9 plus 16 is 25. So
yeah,
answer D.
DD.
Mercedes, is there a question on that one, Mercedes?
Let me see where she just did again. I'm sorry, I was trying to correct my name.
Okay.
She just did number 2.
2. Mhm.
And she says the answer is D. Okay. Yes, I agree.
Did you get that one correct?
No, I was apologizing because I have a bad week, Miss Barbara. I wasn't even at home this week because I was not feeling well. My son was killing me,
Oh
sneezing.
boy,
I
I
I
I
I
can
have to
fully understand about the
I have to
sinus.
call off work Tuesday. I didn't go to work Tuesday because of it.
I
I
can
was headaches and sneeze. My head, my because my father was killing me, and it was minus.
I fully understand.
Yeah.
It's something about the weather because
Yes.
mine has been, and
Yeah.
it's not pollen. I think it's the humidity with me. And
Yeah. The hot and cold keep going on too. And then I have
yes, like
two big
today,
trees in front of my gate. Oh
you
my God. I passed under them and I come in. I was sneezing hysterically nonstop.
and I have my jacket on because it's cold here in
You
my
have to take my
neighborhood.
jacket out again.
Yes, of course, because there no heat is on, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Barbara, give me 1 minute. Let me come on. Let me just go pick up my book. I leave my book in my room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be
And
back in a
we'll
second.
go back to number 1. Maureen will teach you number 1, right,
Okay.
Maureen?
Yeah, give me less than 2 minutes. I'm coming right back.
Okay,
Okay.
go back to
Maureen, we'll go back to 1A through D, and you'll just tell Mercedes why the answer is what it is. That's all. So we'll give her a chance to come back. I don't want to go ahead
Okay.
of her. And that Maureen, when you know you understand something, when you could teach somebody else, right? Like you were helping Audrey the other day.
Mm.
You were helping Audrey because she was having a time understanding the slope and labeling, the X and Y axis, and you were telling her what it should be. And I said, "Oh, Maureen is teaching Audrey because she understands it. Because you
Oh,
understood exactly what I meant by labeling each one, like X1, Y1, and X2, Y2, right?"
make sure there's no talking, so I think she bring up the talk, but then we have to do the college one together there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The college. I mean, you understood the labeling it and how you could just substitute it right into the slope formula once you label it. Yeah, and you were telling her exactly what to do, and I think she understood it better the way you were telling. I think she did. Well, we'll see because I gave you some homework that's actually doing that, filling in the right, values and all.
She's,
Okay.
yeah, she started hers already, but I started.
You study your homework?
I only do one as yet.
Okay, the assignment, because I gave you what?
I do the ones that I fill up. I do this one, go to number 6 already.
Okay.
And then
Did
I
you
do
do the
5.
bonus? You got 3
The bonus.
bonuses. Yeah, you got 3 bonus problems.
I only see one bonus.
They only have 3.
Oh, but the only one that tell you the game bonus
Uh-huh.
is number 7, the one with the slope.
Okay, that's
But
not a
nothing else.
bonus, but
Yeah.
there's three bonus for extra credit.
But you only see one.
Yeah, there's three of them, and I think you can get
Mm.
them right too. Yeah, so far you're understanding some of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that takes practice. That takes practice. But I put one in there bonus because it's one I didn't really go over, but I
Mm.
gave you the formula and I wanted to see if you could
Yeah.
substitute in the formula.
Yeah. The line that fight between 2 and -3 and 5 and -4. And
Yeah.
the slope of 6 there.
Hmm. Yeah, so I said, well, if you can substitute in, you can get it right. I heard from Latoya she had to work. That's why
Uh,
she wasn't on, because I she sent me a little reading,
I text you
inspiration.
last night, so she tell me she gonna call me because want she to get 2 protein powders for me. Yeah.
She want to get one?
I want her to get 2 protein powders for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just send the money to out for her. She
Hmm.
ordered them for me, and then she sent it to my address there.
Okay, very good.
I had sent one for my brother and one for his wife.
Okay,
I know she here that I coming back down. She want the next one.
okay, very
Yeah,
good.
because she's a pure vegetarian. She doesn't eat the type of meat at all.
Okay, so she
Yeah,
definitely needs that protein
yeah.
powder. Hmm.
Mm.
So I'm back.
Mercedes, are you back?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Maureen is going to go through 1A, B, C, and D for
Oh
you.
no.
Okay, now, unless you understand A, do you
You
understand
understand,
A?
Emma?
Let me
Tell her
see.
what you get. Tell she what you get.
No. I didn't get to do any because of my illness this week, as I'm trying to say. That's why I
Oh,
didn't get to
okay,
do the work. I was having too
okay,
much headache. I couldn't concentrate.
okay. So Maureen is going to
So
explain them to you and tell you why she got the answer she got. Go ahead, Maureen.
what it says,
1A.
write the equality for the following. That's what number one says.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's
you can read it, Mercy.
A, B, C, and D. So read it and then
Let me
see
see.
if you understand why. And if you don't understand Maureen's answer, she'll tell you why
Okay.
she put
Number
what she
one
did.
says, write the inequalities for the following. And A
Yeah.
says, it is very cold today and the temperature is below 32 Fahrenheit. Write an inequality that model this situation. Let T equal temperature. So
Okay.
T equal temperature, that is the 32. I don't understand to do right this one. I'm not good at doing writing equality. I always start to, that's one of my weakness now, Miss Barbara, honestly.
Okay.
I'm
Maureen,
trying to,
explain why you got that answer. Tell her what below means.
Below me less.
Below
okay.
means less than. So
That means cold.
yes, that means less than
Less.
32. So that's why
Yeah.
Maureen put T less than. See the less than
Yes,
symbol,
yes, okay.
right? That's the less
Yes,
than symbol. And
yes,
we gave you the variable T, that T be the temperature today. So
yes.
T lower than 32 means less
Less
than
than.
32.
Oh,
You
so
got it?
so so today temperature is lower than 32. That's what it's saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
That's what it
Okay.
says. Very cold
It's said
today. The
below.
temperature is below 32. Below means less than.
Yes,
See below? Above would be greater than, right?
yes.
So below is less than. Questions, Mercedes, on A?
No, miss, thank you. I got that one.
Okay, let's go to B.
I said, what is, before you continue, what I'm thinking, I'm going to write more than what you have here. So I said, what am I going to write? I thought I'm going to write more than T.
No,
So
below means less than.
yeah, I know, but I'm in the writing in when you say, where is it? Write an inequality. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to write more facts. And I said, oh, I don't know what
Well,
to do.
that means you've got to write an expression that has one of the inequality
Oh,
symbols.
just
And
like that.
that's either less than, greater
Okay.
than, less
Okay.
than or
Then
equal, greater
equal.
than or
Greater than
equal. Those
equal.
are the four different inequality symbols that we use.
So my
Less
focus is to write the inequality sign.
That's right, Mercedes.
Got
The
you.
inequality, because the equality sign is an equal. We're not doing that. That's what we're doing when we're writing equations. But this
Okay.
is an inequality we're writing. Inequalities have inequality symbols.
So number
And the
1 is T is less than 32.
32. That's the answer. If I said it's warmer today than it was yesterday, the temperature is above 30 degrees, then we'll say T greater than
Greater
30.
than, yes.
30. Okay.
Got you. All
Now,
right.
above means greater than.
Thank you.
Okay. Now go to B, Mercedes. You read it and see
If I can
if
get it.
you understand the answer. Go ahead to
Okay.
B.
So B said Tim is buying groceries and his monthly budget is $200. Right? An inequality that models a situation. So if his monthly budget is $200, he cannot go above $200, right?
That's right.
So you have to say X
Maureen chose X for her variable. Okay.
yeah, so X is less than or equal to?
Yes, less than or equal 200. Maureen, you want to explain why it's less than or equal?
Because you can't go over the 200.
Okay.
You can't go over the 200.
Yeah, 200, yeah.
You have to purchase grocery the same amount for $200 or less than
Yeah.
200.
That's right.
Or less
Yeah.
than 200, yeah.
Yeah,
The
if your
same
budget.
199,
Mhm.
198, but you can't go over the 200 because you got more money.
That's right.
Even
Absolutely.
199.
Yeah.
Even one.
Yeah, you could spend 198,
99.
199, you could spend 150, you could spend
Okay.
200, but you can't spend
And go over
201. 201 would be greater than 200, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay, Mercedes,
now.
go to C, read C and see if
See
you
if I can-
understand the answer.
Okay. The pool's highest depth was more than 5 feet. Right? An equality that models the pool. The pool depth, well, on the pool's height depth was more than 5 feet.
More than 5 feet. What does more than mean, Mercedes?
I mean, it's more than 5 feet.
You know, what does that mean as inequality symbol? There are 4 symbols. Which one would more than be? Which inequality symbol?
Greater than or
That's right, greater than. More than means greater than.
Okay.
So what Maureen wrote is D, the depth, and she put a greater than symbol and then the 5.
So I want to get the word straight in my head. The highest depth, got it. The highest depth was more than 5 feet. So D must be greater than.
That's right.
Okay.
More
I
So I
than
tell you
means,
more than.
Yes.
that's it, Maureen. More than means greater than. So you put the symbol greater than and then the 5 for the feet.
Okay.
The max. Sometimes you use maximum. Maximum is greater, right? Minimum is less. Mercedes, you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm getting it.
Okay. Now let's go to D. Read that. Maureen will tell you why she has her answer.
Okay, so D saying to get an A grade on a writing test, Ingrid must make a grade of at least 95, right? An inequality that models this requirement. Let's see.
So what does at least 95 means?
At least mean she cannot get less than 95?
No, I want you to give me an inequality that means at least either a greater than or equal, less than or equal, greater than or less than. Which one of those inequalities means at least?
Greater than or equal?
That's right. That's why Maureen has greater than or equal.
Okay.
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 In other words, a 90 won't cut it, right?
No.
To get an A, 90 is not an A.
No. No.
That means you've got to have 95,
Exactly.
96, 97 up to
Exactly.
100 or 105 or whatever, right?
Okay.
Greater than or equal, but not less than. Okay,
Okay.
got
Got
it?
it. Yes.
Okay, very good. Now we were I think, okay, so two, you're okay with number two.
Yeah.
All right, so Mercedes, you just in time for number three.
Wait a minute, miss, before we go to number 3.
Okay, you want to go back to number
Yeah,
two?
yeah, I'm looking at which of the solution. Read that a little bit, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
bring,
gonna
I was
read that
just putting
again.
that, okay. Number two.
Um, the the 16, 9 is less than. The 16 sign supposed to be a plus.
Well, if you don't see a sign, that's the default, Mercedes,
Yeah,
remember?
but
If it
that's
were
what I'm saying.
negative, we'd put a negative there. But if you don't see a sign, like here, that
Yeah.
means it's plus. But -9 here, that means the -9, you're doing subtraction.
Okay.
See minus, that minus here is the subtraction,
Same
like
sign.
taking the difference.
So what I'm
See minus a 9 greater than 15. So if that's a subtraction, the inverse operation is a plus. That's why Maureen added the 9 to both sides.
so the 16 is not a plus.
Yes, it's a plus. But what's 16 plus 9?
So when you put the 9 under the 16, you turn it to plus.
Well, no, you're adding. You're not putting, you're adding. Remember, I want you to
I know
use
I'm adding.
operations.
Yes,
So
but you have
you
to change.
adding 9 to both sides. Add 9 to both sides. All right. So if you add 9 to both sides, the left side just becomes C, because -9 and
Yes,
plus 9 is
yes.
0. And 16 plus 9 is 25. That's why Maureen has
So
D for her
when you go on
answer.
the other side, you have to change the minus sign to plus 6, because two same sign you add.
No. You got to think inverse operations, just like you do with equations.
That's what
So
I'm thinking.
if you subtracting a 9, and you need to get this 9 on the side of the 16, which is what you want. You want your constants on the same
Mhm.
side. You'd have to add the 9.
On both sides.
That's right.
You cancel, so then you have C leave.
That's right.
So
-9 plus 9 is 0. C plus 0 is just C.
okay.
And 16 plus 9 is 25. So your answer would be 25.
Okay, thank you.
Got it?
Yes.
So think inverse operations. If you're doing a subtraction, then you have to do an add. If this was a +9, then you'd have to subtract the 9 from both sides.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
So think of inverse operations. Minus goes with plus, and plus goes with minus. And with multiplication, you have multiplication and division. So if you're dividing, then the inverse is multiplication. Multiplication inverse is division. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Now, you ready for number 3, Mercedes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We want to solve the inequality. What answer here is correct?
Where are we? Number 3, solve the inequality.
Solve the inequality. How would you solve it? Let me ask you. How would you
2K.
solve -2k greater than 18?
I would have to add on both sides
Why add?
because I see a subtraction sign beside 2. No, I'm wrong. You'd have to subtract 18 from both sides. No, 2 from both
No,
sides. From both
no.
sides. To get rid of to get K on its own,
So how would you get K on its own?
subtract on both sides.
Why would you
Subtract
subtract?
2 on both sides.
But we're not
No,
adding a
no,
two.
no, I'm sorry. You're going to divide.
That's it, because this is a multiplication.
Yes, you're going to divide.
Minus
As I said, it's
2K
thing I
means,
remember is multiplication.
yes, the inverse of
Yes,
multiplication is
yes,
division.
got it.
So you'd have to what? Divide.
On both sides.
Yeah, divide
2 from both sides.
both sides. Let me just write it here. By
2.
-2.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if
And
you
you
do
have to
that,
cancel.
what do you get? I'll say these.
So you cancel and you have K alone.
What do you cancel?
You cancel the 2 that divide the 2 on the left
No,
side.
you're dividing. -2 over -2 is 1.
Yeah. So you just put K for 1.
Okay, so
And then you say 2
I'll have
into.
K. And what would I have on the right-hand side? So that's still a greater than.
And the right hand side, you're going to say 2 into 18 give you 9.
That's a -2. Careful with your signs.
Oh, okay. After we say the -2.
What's 18 divided by -2?
So you get 9.
You get what?
9.
Plus or minus?
Is
18 divided by a -2. Remember, unlike signs, divide to give you negative. So what would be the answer?
the answer would be 9.
Plus or minus?
Plus?
No, 18 divided by -2 is a -9.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You
So
follow,
that
Mercedes? You got to remember your signs.
Yeah.
Plus divided by negative gives negative.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And Maureen, when you divide by negative, what do?
It's reverse.
That's right. You got to reverse your inequality symbol. So this becomes K
Is less than
-9.
-9.
Okay.
So your answer is what, Mercedes? What's your answer?
A.
A.
Wow. Well, I get they right for now. They want to be the
You
other
had
ones.
that one right, You had that one right, Maureen?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mercedes, you understand why the answer is A?
Or you say when you divide, then you're going to reverse the sign.
When you divide by a negative, or if you multiply by a negative, you reverse the
Multiply
inequality.
and divide, you reverse. Good.
That's right. Multiply, divide by negative, you reverse the inequality. So we divided by the -2. And remember, I told you side by side multiplication.
Yes.
So inverse of the multiplication is division. That's why we divided both sides by -2. And that gave us K greater than -9. But like Maureen just said, when you divide by negative, you reverse the inequality. So the greater than becomes a less than. So this K less than -9 in words is K is less than -9.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Questions?
No, miss. I hope I can challenge some of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Maureen, here's your compound inequality. You wanted to do that before, right? And Mercedes, let me apologize. I lost the recording from Monday.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it.
I said I lost it. Somehow I lost it. I got ready to create it, and the file I normally created on wasn't there. So I don't know what happened.
I said I would just look at it to get an idea what you did since I did.
Yes, because we did the compound.
When my head hurting, I don't want to really challenge anything. I just want to
Yep. I'm sorry about that, because we did go through compound inequalities.
Okay.
And what did we learn about compounding inequalities, Maureen? Just one statement.
I can't remember, Spiral.
No, with compound inequalities, they can be two inequalities connected
yes.
by and, or they could
And
be connected by or.
by or, yeah.
And what you do is just solve each one of them individually.
Yeah.
So this is 6x minus 3 less than 9. And 2x plus 9 greater than or equal to 3. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to solve these. Let me just put it here. Just solve them individual, and then you'll give the answers for both of them. That's what A, B, C, D has. Okay, so let's just put this here. So I'll put that one there, solve that one, and then I want you to solve the second one and tell me what answers you get. Mercedes, you understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try.
it's just two single inequalities that are connected by and they could be connected by or, but here they connected by and. So solve the first one, and then solve the second one, and then tell me what answer you get. Now, Maureen, let me just ask you, what's your first step on this? Okay, I'll call this number 1. That's
I do my right. I don't answer to money, but I love my answers right.
okay. Well, you can, if you got the answers, you can tell me what you did.
I don't know. I get B for my answer. I don't know if it's right. Maybe I do it the other way, but it's nice to taste upward.
Okay. Well, so how did you solve number 1? What did you do first? Just tell me what you did first.
Oh. I take away 9, right?
Wait a minute now. You need to get the 3 on the side with the 9. So why
Yeah.
would you take away a 9?
Or I take away 3.
Why would you take away a 3? It's been subtracted here. What's the inverse of subtraction?
Oh, you multiply.
No.
Subtract, it divide. No, they add.
No. Yes. Yeah, you pair them, add, subtract, and divide, multiply. Those are your inverse. So if you subtracting a 3, you've got to add a 3 to both sides, right? Okay, so once you do that, then you can continue.
Okay.
And for this one, that's a plus 9, and you need it on the side with the 3, you'd have to subtract the 9. So go ahead and do that and tell me what answers you get.
Okay.
Mercedes, are you doing that?
Yes, miss.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and then tell me what you get for number 1 and what you get for number 2. Remember how you pair these now. The plus the inverse operations are addition, subtraction, that's a pair, and then multiplication, division, that's a pair. Or division, multiplication, or subtraction, addition. Now, those are paired. What answer did you say you got, Maureen?
I had get B.
You got what?
B.
Okay.
Where are your answers? Oh, let me look at them. See what I got. I have.
What did you get, Mercedes? You solve yours?
Yes, miss. Just let me just look at the answers first.
What? Okay.
I'm
What
looking at
answer did you get? Maureen says she got B. Let's put Maureen's answer here. She said she got B. What did you get, Mercedes?
A.
You said you got A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So Maureen, you added, let's put what you did. You You added the 3 here because it's subtracted, right? Add 3 to both sides.
Wait.
And that would give you what? 6x.
I made a mistake, miss. I made a mistake with my answer sign. Hold on. One check. My answer was really.
Okay, so what did you get after you corrected, ladies? Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
once you add the 3, that would be, you take the 3 out, that's a 0, so that would be,
Answer is what?
okay,
I didn't
so,
look carefully at this the sign in front of the letter, the number 2 and 3. So I'm just looking over again to match my answer. My
okay.
answer X. That.
Which one are we doing?
This is 12.
I'm looking at number 1. The first part of it.
And Maureen, what did you do?
Oh,
What did you do at this point, Maureen, when you got 6x less than 12? What did you do, Maureen?
hold on a minute.
To get x, what was your operation?
The device
That's it. Divide both sides by what, Maureen?
by 6.
That's it. Very good.
Yeah.
Both sides by 6. Very good. Okay. So that would just give you x less than 2, right? So let's just put that here. And that would give you x less than, because 12 divided by 6 is 2. X less than 2. Okay, so that would be the answer for the first expression, right? Then, Mercedes, what did you do for number 2? The second inequality.
The second part,
What did you do first?
first I divide 9 on both sides.
No.
Take away 9 on both sides.
That's this. This is a plus. Plus goes with subtraction, right? Addition.
Take away 9
So
on both
you'd have to subtract 9 from both sides. Okay. Now, that will give you, let's just put what you get after you do that operation. Okay. So once you subtract the 9 from both sides, the plus 9 minus 9 is 0. So this would be 3 minus 9. And what does that give you on the right side, Mercedes?
I have 2x on the right, the left side.
So what's on the right? What's 3 minus 9?
That will be 6.
Plus or minus?
Minus.
Minus 6. So the plus 3 minus 9, you subtract the sign. Absolute value has the largest absolute value has a negative. So that would be a minus 6. So let's just put that there. Okay. Now what's your next step, Mercedes?
Okay, my next step is to take away, divide 2 on both sides.
Divide both sides by 2, because this is a multiplication, right? 2x means 2 times x. So divide both sides by 2. And what would that give you, Mercedes? We'd have it.
That will give me x and 1 on the left side first.
Okay, let's just copy that. So we'll have x, 2x divided by 2 just gives you x. So let's just take out the 2. Okay. And minus 6 divided by 2 gives you what, Mercedes? What would be on the right side?
On the right side, I would have 3.
Plus or minus?
Minus.
Minus, that's right. Minus divided by plus is minus. So this would be a -3. So that's what you'd get for the second one. So your answers would be what? Let's put x less than 2. That's for equation number 1. So let's just put that there. That's one of the answers. And let's just put comma. And let's put the second equation. Okay. And we get what Maureen got, right?
Yeah, answer B.
Yep. So when
So
you
that's
look
why
at
I catch
yeah,
up on it. My answer was wrong.
yeah,
Because,
yeah. X less than 2, there it is. And x greater than -3.
my number 2
Answer
wasn't
B.
right.
Okay?
Well, my second side wasn't right.
Yeah. Okay. So with the compound, you have 2 inequalities and just solve both of them.
Okay.
All right. Now we could put these in as a compound, but you don't have to. Now, if you did, you'd have to, instead of saying x less than 2, if x is less than 2, then 2 is less than x. And then we already have here greater than or equal to 3. So we just put greater than or equal to 3.
So
So this is the way
you
it
have to
would look
reverse the
as a
sign, miss.
compound. What's the
And
question?
this, you have to reverse the sign.
No, you're not reversing the sign. You're reversing the inequality. See, if x is less than 2, then that means 2 is, I'm sorry, this would be 2 greater than x.
Okay.
Okay, if x is less than 2, then 2 is greater than x. So we'd have 2 greater than x, and then we just put the other second inequality answer, x greater than it. So this is the way it would look as a compound.
For the answer.
No, the answer what I gave you is just to find the inequalities for each one of these.
So
But
what I'm asking is that's the way you should write the answers?
no, this is the way you express it as a
Okay.
compound inequality.
Then you
But
pick the
I
answer
didn't,
from
but I
A,
didn't
A,
ask
B,
you
C,
that.
D.
But I'm just letting
Okay.
you know that if as an inequality compound, it would be both 2 greater than x and x greater than equal to -3.
Okay.
So once you get the 2, like here we got the 2, you just take the first one and then reverse it, and instead of x less than 2, 2 greater than x, and then leave the other one the same, and that's it.
Okay.
Got it? Because that's a compound inequality. Now that's for the and, but if it was an or, you would have it like this. You just have one inequality and then the other inequality. Okay. Because it could be one or the other. But here this is an and. So the and, you could just really put them together. And the and inequality, when you write it like this, you have 2 inequality symbols. Always 2. Now here, this is greater than, this is greater than or equal. Got it?
Yes.
But I didn't have you do this. I didn't have you go this step. I just wanted you to solve each one of the inequalities. Okay, just solve them separate and then put the answers. And I gave you both answers. Very good, Maureen. You got that one. And Mercedes, you got it too after you found your mistake, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that was it for the inequalities. Now I want to go to ratio and proportion. So let me do a new share and go to ratio and proportion. Now, anybody want to tell me what a ratio is? What do you think a ratio is?
Getting the average of something is?
No, it's not an average. Average is mean.
Oh, ratio.
Ratio.
Ratio is what again?
Maureen, what's the ratio?
I really can't remember, but I know ratios good, I can't remember.
What is a ratio? Okay. Now,
A ratio is
It's it's just a comparison of two quantities. In other words, you've been looking at ratios because a fraction is a ratio. 1/4.
Okay.
That's a ratio, right?
Yeah.
1/4 is the same as 1 to 4.
Okay.
So it's just comparing two quantities. That's all it is.
Okay.
All right. Like you had a class, and the class had 10 boys and 15 girls. Well, the ratio of boys to girls will be the number of girls to the number of boys. And that's a ratio. So if it's 10 and 15, just be 15/10, or 15:10, or you could say 15:10. So you could express it 3 different ways. You could use the colon between the two quantities. You could put the word to, T-O, A to B, or you could write it as a fraction, A/B.
Okay.
Got it? Now,
Yeah.
the common ratios we'll be looking at are part to part and part to whole. Now, do you have an idea of the difference? Maureen, what do you think the difference between part to part and part to whole? And let me give you okay.
Part to part.
You have, okay, say we have 5 girls.
Part to part means 5 girls, 5 boys.
And 8 boys.
Or part to all.
Okay. And I say, what is the ratio of boys to girls? What would you say, Mercedes?
In the sentence that you gave?
What is the ratio of boys to girls?
5 to 8.
Nope. I said
Part boys and
boys.
part girls.
I said boys to girls. What are you saying, Maureen?
Pardon
Part
me.
boys and part girls. Half girls and half boys.
No. What is?
No.
But I'm telling you the numbers. You have 5 girls and 8 boys, Maureen. You have to use these numbers. What is,
Well, that'd be
Maureen?
13.
I'm asking you. What is the ratio of boys to girls?
Oh, there's
What's wrong with
3
me?
boys to 5 girls. No.
Maureen, but here are the numbers 5 and 8. You've got to use the numbers I gave you.
Yeah.
These are the two quantities. So what is the ratio of boys to girls, Maureen?
8 to 5.
Part of 4.
Maureen,
Can I
5
answer?
girls, 8 boys. I gave you the numbers. So the ratio would be the ratio between these two quantities. How many boys are there, Maureen?
8.
How many girls?
5.
So what's the ratio? Boys to girls.
Part to part.
What's the ratio of boys to girls?
8 to 5.
5 to 8.
Boys to girls, Maureen.
8 to 5.
8 to 5. Because that's a common mistake, is to get them mixed up. That's why I'm doing this.
Because I was looking at it, Miss, I just say, I forgot to say boys and then girls. I say girl before boy.
No, but that's why I said that, because when you're reading a problem, you want to make sure you put them in the right order. Because if I had said girls to boys, then you would say 5 to 8. 5 to 8 is not the same as 8 to 5.
Exactly.
Right? Just like the fraction, 1/4. 1/4, okay, not equal 4/1. I want you to remember, use this little example there. Because 1/4 of $1 is how much, Mercedes?
25 cents.
25 cents. But 4/1 is $4. Are they the same?
No, Miss?
Nope. So remember now, you have to put these in the order that they are given to you. Now, that's part to part. Now, if I said, what's the ratio of girls to the total? What would you say, Maureen? What's the ratio of girls to the total? Maureen, are you there?
Yeah.
What's the ratio of girls to the total?
That'd be, oh no, it's 13 to 5.
Ratio of girls to the
It's
total.
5.
5, what?
Yeah.
And what's the total?
13.
That's right. So 5 to 13. Or you could say 5 over 13, right?
Yeah.
Or you could say 5 colon
13.
13.
All these are the same. 5 to 13, comma, because you'll see it in different ways, right? You could see it as a fraction, 5 over 13 with the slash and sometimes a dash, or 5 colon 13. Got it? So part to part to whole. That's what we'll be looking at. All right, now let me just go
So,
here.
Miss,
Okay, go back.
that mean part to whole, right?
Yeah, when the whole is the total of the boys and the girls.
Yes, yeah.
That's the
So
whole.
part that is part to the whole.
That's right, part to
Good.
whole. And if I
5
said
plus 13
boys to the whole, it would be 8 to 13.
Yes.
Right?
Got it. Got
You
it.
got it?
Yes.
Okay. Know the difference now, because these are the kind of problems we'll be working with. Now, let me look here. Okay, here we go. A recipe for pancakes. Use 3 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk to make 20 pancakes. Now, the ratio of the flour to the milk, now the flour is 3 cups, the milk is 2, that's 3 to 2, right?
Yeah.
Now, the whole we're calling the pancakes. So the ratio of the milk, which would be 2 to the pancakes, will be 2 to 20. That's part to whole. Got it?
Yeah.
So here are the parts that make up the whole, and the parts of the flour and the milk. Those are the parts that make up the pancakes. Mercedes, you had a question?
I was wondering if I'm getting you with that. 3 cups of flour and 2 cups of milk to make the pancake. So the ratio of flour to milk is 3 to 2,
Right.
part to part. And then the ratio of milk to the pancake is 2 to, oh, got it.
Yeah, 2 to 20. The whole
Yeah.
here is the pancakes that you
Okay.
get from those 2 parts.
And the
Okay.
2 is the milk.
Yes, the 2 cups is the milk, the 3 cups is the flour. So part to part, flour to milk. Now, if I had milk to flour now, it wouldn't be 3 to 2, it would be 2 to 3. So make sure you look at what your parts are. Flour to milk is 3 to 2, but milk to flour will be 2 to 3. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
Question? So always read the problem carefully, because the parts, the way you put them in order determines what your ratio would be. If I had said milk to flour, it would be 2 to 3. That's not the same as 3 to 2. Okay. If I said flour to pancakes, it would be 3 to 20, not 2 to 20. Got it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. All right, here we go again. This is still, oh, let's see. 5 students in a group studying for a test. 3 are girls, 2 are boys. Boys to girls, there are 2 boys, 3 girls. That's 2 to 3, right?
Yeah.
Then the other part is girls to boys. That's 3 to 2. But the total is 5 of them, 5 students in the group. So boys to the whole is 3 to 5. Girls to the whole would be, that's
No, boys is
boys
2
would be 2. This would be
and girls is 3.
and the girls is 3. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So the boys to all the students, I said 2 boys would be 2 to 5. But if I said girls, the girls would be 3 to 5. Girls to the whole.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes, Miss Barbara.
All right, let's look at a little picture here. All right. All right. What's the ratio of apples to lemons, Mercedes?
Ratio for apple to lemon is 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Okay, so let's just put 3 colon 4. Okay. Maureen, what's the ratio of lemons to apples?
4 to 3.
Okay. 4:3. Now, ladies, what's the ratio of apples to the total fruit?
The apple to the total fruit, that would be 3 to 7.
3 to 7. Okay. So that would be 3:7.
7.
Okay. Maureen, what's the ratio of lemons to the total fruit?
It would be 4 to 7.
4 to 7. Okay, now you got it. You're ready to do some problems then, right? Oh, okay. All right. All right. Let's go here. Now, you say, well, why are we learning this math? Well, this is a case where ratios we use in real life. You use it when you're shopping, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're buying cereal and you see 10 ounces cost $3, 20 ounces cost $5, which is the better buy? Now,
F what?
if 10
Oh.
ounces cost $3 and 20
Uh-huh.
ounces cost $5. Now, you could really figure this out without going through a ratio, because if 10
Yeah.
ounces cost 3, then if you bought 2 of these, that would be 6. And that's more than 20 for 5. So you know that the 20 ounce is the best buy. But
Okay.
if you found the amount cost per ounce, you can say it costs less per ounce if I get the larger box. And I don't know if you shop and you see, I know I shop on Walmart and Stop and Shop, and Walmart gives you the cost per unit, like if something is in ounces.
Yeah.
So you can see if what's the best buy. Yeah, they give you the unit price. Okay. But if they weren't giving you the unit price, you could calculate it. Okay. Now, we also use it in recipes. All right. So if you were making a salad dressing and you had a cup of olive oil, cup of wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. All right. So 1 cup of oil to 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. So if you double this, that would be 2 cups of oil and how many tablespoons of Italian seasoning?
4.
4. That's right. That's what we call a ratio and proportion. So we do use ratios in real life. And I have another example.
Yeah.
Just want you to know that these have practical use. Okay. Vacation trips. Suppose you're going to Philadelphia and you know that's about 90 miles from New York City to Philadelphia. And if it's 60 miles per hour, you can determine how long the trip would take, because 60 miles per hour means 60 miles for 60 minutes, right? So if you divide the 90 miles by 60, you get the number of minutes converted to hours is 1.5 hours. Right? So it has, like I say, practical uses. So now, what's the difference between a ratio and proportion? Ratio compares 2 quantities. Proportion is when you set 2 ratios as equal. And we do that because most times we're trying to calculate what are the values. So there are 4 different values. We know 3 of them. We want to find the 4th one. That's what we call a proportion. That's the real use of ratios, is ratio and proportion. We want to find the unknown answer, right?
Okay.
Now, let me just, I don't want to do that. Let me go to new share, and then I want to look at some examples. Okay. Okay. All right. Can you see this ratio and proportions?
Number 4.
Ratio of men.
Oh, number 1. Okay.
Number 1, do you see that? What's the ratio of men to women in society? If there are 7 women to every 6 men. Now, these are some examples that I want you to do.
Okay, what ratio of men
What
to
would be the ratio? What would be the answer here, Mercedes? There's 7 women. We're saying if there are 7 women to every 6 men, what would be the ratio?
7 women. What? 7 women to every 6 men.
What would be the ratio of men to women?
Hold on. 7 women. 7.
That'd be like 42.
Maureen, a ratio is comparing two quantities. You
Oh,
just gave me a number.
oh.
So
What's
it's
the ratio?
7 women to 6 men. 7 women to 6 men. That's what you're saying?
7 women to every 6 men. So what would be the ratio of men to women?
Oh, boy. The only way I can think is this.
Ratio is comparing two quantities. How many men?
How many
How many men numbers?
6
6.
men.
Okay, how many women?
7.
So the ratio is 6 to 7. That's it.
Just like that?
That's it. I asked for ratio. Remember I told you the ratio is comparison of two quantities. I
Yeah.
gave you the two quantities.
Yes, but it sounds so like women to every the every alone. It sound like
No,
how
7 women to every 6 men. So for every 6 men, there's 7 women. So the quantity of women is 7. The quantity of men is 6 in the ratio.
Oh, okay, miss. Let me ask this question. How would you get the total to 1 to 1?
I didn't ask for total.
No, I know. But I'm asking.
We don't know the totals here. We're not thinking total.
Okay.
We're only thinking ratio.
Okay.
We'll look at some totals later. I
Okay.
just want
Remember you
ratio. The ratio is the comparison of two quantities.
Okay.
Two quantities. The quantities here are women and men. And I gave you the numbers.
Okay. So because it is this big everys in it, I'm thinking a broader number.
Well, for every 6 men, there's 7 women. So the ratio is 6 to 7 for men to women. If I said, what's the ratio of women to men, then it would be 7 to 6.
Okay.
Got it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Questions?
No, ma'am, this one's not a B because I was thinking broader. Is it every 6? Is it every 6 men?
For
7.
every 6 men, there are 7 women.
So if 6 men pop up, you gotta show 7 women to match.
No, it's not that you
Part of
have
it.
got to find 7 to match. It's just that if someone took a survey, say, of a city now, because this is not a fact, this is just a problem. So
Okay.
if someone took a survey of women and men, they might get a different ratio.
Oh.
It depends on where it's done. This is just a math problem. Okay. Saying that for every 7 women, because people do that. They move into the city and say, oh, how many men are there for everyone? Oh my goodness, there are only 6 men for every 15. So it's just a math problem. So for every 7 women, then there are 6 men. So you can practice right the ratio. So the ratio of men to women be the number, the quantity 6 to the number of women 7. And if I said ratio of women to men using these same figures, then it would be 7 to 6.
Okay. In my head, I thought this one going to have total, and you got your part to part.
No, but you don't see that. All I asked for a ratio, and the ratio is just a comparison.
Yeah.
Now, when you going further, that's what they'll say you call ratio proportion.
Okay.
This is not a ratio proportion, right? This is just a ratio.
Your ratio. Okay.
Okay. Now, here's another one. This is another ratio. There are 3 Android phones for 2 iOS phones. The iOS phone is the Apple phone, right? In the city. What is the ratio of iOS phones to Android? Mercedes, what would be the answer?
2 to 3.
2 to 3. That's it. 2 to 3. And if I'd ask you, what are the ratio of Android to iOS, then it would be 3 to 2.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, let's go a little further with that same. Now, using this same ratio, what's the total number of phones in the city if there are 500 iOS phones? Now, you've got your ratio here. Now we're going to ratio proportion. The ratio of iOS phones to Android is 2 to 3, right?
Mhm.
Let me just put that there. Ratio of, and this was iOS phones to Android. We got that from the prior problem. Android phones is 2
The
to
three.
3. Now, knowing that, how could you solve finding the total number of phones in this city if there are 500 iOS phones?
Okay.
Tell me, how do you think you could solve it?
If there is five.
Now, remember I say a ratio proportion is setting two ratios equal, right?
Mhm.
So I'll get you started. Let's take our ratio 2 and we'll write it as a fraction because we want to do some solving here. Okay, 3. So that's a ratio. And we want to set that equal to,
500.
that's right. So we want to set that equal to, and this 2, but the 3 here is what? The Android, and the 2 is the iOS. So that would be 500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we want to solve for. So what are we solving for?
Your ratio for both.
We're solving for the Android. So we'll
Yeah.
just call that X.
Mhm.
So we solve this for X.
Uh,
And that means you can cross multiply
Right.
and
Mhm.
solve it. So do that and tell me what X is.
Okay.
Cross multiply. Put here cross multiply. And solve for X. So that's your step. And once you set up your two ratios equal, and remember I said that's a ratio and proportion. So this whole thing here we call ratio
Proportion.
and proportion. And all that is setting two ratios equal. And make sure when you set them equal, you have them exactly what they are, like 2 iOS. This is iOS over 3 Android, and this 500 is iOS over the unknown Android. Because in order to get the total, we need a total of both Android and iOS phones. So did anybody solve for the X?
One is I do the 3 by the 500 is 15.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
what do you
then
get for X?
2.
What did you get for X, Maureen?
2.
2. I multiply 2 by the X is 2.
Okay, so what is X then?
That is 2. Divided by 15 is 750.
That's right. So X equal more. Did you get that, Mercedes?
I didn't divide the 2 yet. I got 2 first. So now I understand what she's doing.
Well, she multiplied 500 by 3. She got 1,500.
I
Then
got
she
that first.
divided that by 2, and 2 into 1,500 is 750. So that's 750 what? Android
Right, Android.
phones. And then the sum total of Android plus iOS is 750 plus 500, right?
Mm.
750 plus 500.
Um,
And that gives you what? 1250 total. So that's the total of iOS and iPhones. iOS and Android, I mean. Because iOS is the iPhone. Questions? Mercedes, you follow?
I'm trying to follow, but it says if there are 500
iOS phones.
phones, so you have to figure out how many Android.
That's it, to get a total, because it says find the total number. Read
Got
these careful, number of phones.
Okay.
And the number of phones in the city is the sum total of Android plus iOS, right? We know the 500 iOS phones, but we have to use our ratio that we have over here, 2 iOS phones for every 3 Android. So 2 iOS, 3 Android, 500 iOS X. So if you think you're going to get them mixed up, just put what they are. iOS, right? Android.
Android.
You really get it down, you can just put what
The first part of it, miss, when you put it out, the same thing came to me to multiply across.
okay, so iOS, because 500 iOS, and let's put the X here. X is the Android.
So you have to divide the 2 by the 1500.
Okay, so let me just take that ratio and proportion out and put it. Okay.
This why do you have to divide the 1500 to get the 7?
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, you take the proportion out. So we've got 2, let me just rewrite this. So we've got 2 iOS over 3 Android. That's from our ratio, right? And so the 500 iOS, you take this out. And the X is, what do we solve it for? X is the Android. Okay, so when you set it up so that you're gonna get it mixed up, just label them. The ratio of iOS to Android is 2 to 3.
Okay.
500 iOS, how many Android? That's our unknown. So 2 times X is 500 times 3. And then to get the X, they'll say that you divide the 1500 by the 2.
Okay.
You follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you cross multiply, let me just put here. Okay, once you cross multiply, you get 2x equal 1500, right?
Okay.
Now, what do you do to get x? You divide both sides by 2, right?
Okay.
Just like we've been doing with our other equations and the way we did with our inequalities. Divide both sides by 2. And that's how we got the 750. 1500, half of 1500 is 750.
Good. Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
So what I said this was, and I'll just put it right here. That's a ratio. Well, let me put here. The ratio, I'll just spell it out, is 2 to 3.
Okay.
And the proportion proportion is setting them equal. So proportion is, this is the proportion right here, this whole thing. I set the two ratios equal. So the proportion is
Excuse me.
the ratios see, I have to have two ratios in a proportion. So I set the two ratios as equal. The ratios equal. Okay. So ratio 2/3, ratio 500/x. When I set them equal, that's a proportion. So the
Okay.
ratio is just the two quantities. The proportion is an equality of the two ratios. You got it?
Okay. I hope this is recording so I can I'd
Yeah.
like to write the notes.
Yeah, this is being recorded, but remember, you have to have ratios in order to solve proportions.
Yes.
So your first step, like that's why I put this one, find the ratio. Then once you
Yeah.
find the ratio, then you can use that and find, okay, if I have 500 iOS phones, how many Android do I have? And this is the proportion to solve that right here.
Okay.
Okay, that's the proportion to solve that. All right, questions?
No, Miss Barbara, thank you.
Okay, so ask yourself, if I define my total, I've got to find how many Android phones I have.
Yeah.
And you can find it because you've got a ratio 2/3, and you've got 500 iOS phones, so only one unknown, and that's the Android phones. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So, Maureen, you all right?
Yes, Miss Barbara.
Okay. So now, okay, in that case, then you could do number 4.
You want us to do number 4?
Yeah, 2.5, 2 to 5, or 2 to 5 is the ratio of desktops to laptops. So if you sold 35 laptops, how many desktops did you sell? So set up your proportion and solve for the number of desktops. Set two ratios equal. And one of them, you know, you got the 2 to 5. And you got 35 laptops. Now remember this ratio and make sure you put them in order. Desktops to laptops, not the other way around. So set that up. 2 to 5 desktops, laptops, and you've got 35 laptops. How many desktops were sold if you sold 35 laptops? I want you to solve that and tell me your answer. Anybody got the answer? How many desktops did you sell?
Okay,
Maureen, you got an answer?
It's sold 35 laptops.
Right.
Mm.
So
And then
how many desktops did you sell? The ratio 2 to 5 is the ratio of desktops to the laptops.
It's just so 35 laptop.
How many desktops did you sell? Did you set it up, Maureen?
Yeah.
So tell me what you wrote. What's your ratio?
I put 2 to 5, right?
Okay, you put 2 over the 5, right? You got to set it up as a fraction to solve it. It's a cross multiplication, right? So you got
Yeah.
2 over the 5. And what's that equal to, Maureen?
The 35 laptops.
Okay, yeah. Now you remember your ratios. This is desktop
Oh
right
yeah,
here. Right?
desktop. Yeah, desktop.
That's desktop. So you don't get them mixed up. That's desktop,
Mm.
right?
The other
And the
one is
5 is the laptop. So you
laptop.
got
Yeah.
laptops. There we go. Okay, equal. Now you sold what? 35 laptops. So this is your
Uh,
unknown X for
right.
desktops. You want to know the desktop. So that's what you're trying to solve, right?
Yeah.
And your laptops is 35. So here you are,
Yeah.
right here. Put the 35 here. Now solve that. Cross multiply and solve for the X. Let me make that bigger.
Oh.
Right? Is that what you had, Mercedes?
Only that I put my 35 at the top. So I'm going to change it and try. Okay.
That's why I'm putting them here, so you know. So X, you're looking for desktops, right? So that's desktops.
14.
And that's it, Maureen. 14 is the answer. Very good. Okay, and that's laptops. Is that what you got, Mercedes?
No, I haven't done it. Give me a chance. Let me see if I can get it.
Okay, that's it. Cross multiply. 5x is 70. 2 times 35. So when you cross multiply, 5x equal 70, and Maureen divided by the 5x, and she got 14, and that's the answer. 5x is 70. Let me make that bigger.
Yep.
You
I got
got it,
Yes, miss.
Mercedes?
Yes,
So
miss.
x equal 14, and that's desktops. Got it?
Yes. Thank you.
That's your answer.
So you cross multiply because 2 times 35 is 70.
That's right. And 5 times x is
You
5x. So
divide
that, yeah, go ahead, Mercedes.
divide 70 by 5 and you get your 14.
That's it. That's the number of desktops. So,
Beautiful, Maureen. Beautiful. Thank you.
and you know your number has to be smaller. And why do you know that,
Yeah.
Maureen? Why do you know your number has to be smaller than 35?
Because it says 2 to 5.
Yeah, 2 to 5. So that means you sold more laptops than desktops. So
Yeah.
2 represents the desktop. So you know your number has to be less than 35. So if I
Yeah.
gave you a multiple choice and gave you numbers and you had a number that was greater than 35, you could eliminate it because you know it's got to be less than 35, right? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. You're doing good. Okay, now I'm giving you a cross multiplication, right? And I'm saying solve for X. In all cases, I want you to solve for X, for A, B, C, and D. Tell me your answers you get for X. And some of them are mental math.
Oh, this is all for X.
Yes,
Okay.
solve for X. You got 4 different problems. A, B, C, D. Each case, solve for X. That means cross multiply. Tell me what you get for
I
A.
want to find an X.
Find the X.
Okay. 47.
You get for number one, Maureen. What is
You mean
X? What's
the
X?
X?
Yes, what's X equal for A? I mean 5A.
6X is okay.
What is X equal to? I just want to know the value of X.
6.
The value of X is what? Get rid of that on the line there.
We
Okay.
cross multiply, right? 6X is X. And 3 twos is 6.
So what is X equal to?
6.
No.
No.
Think again, Maureen.
3 times 2 is 6. 6 times X is X. What's 6 divided by 6, Maureen?
1.
Come
X
on,
is
you
1.
didn't get the answer already.
Is that what you got, Maureen? I mean, Mercedes, you got
Yes,
X equal 1?
yes.
You see your error, Maureen?
Yeah.
3 times 2 is 6. 6 times X is 6X. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So, Mercedes, what'd you get for B?
Or B.
X equal what?
Oh, just a minute. Let me see if I get the answer. X equal 56.
X equals 56.
Am I wrong?
No, that's correct. Is that
Yeah,
what you got?
56. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good, Mercedes. What about C?
I don't do C yet. I just finished X. Let me try C now.
Maureen, you have C? X equal what?
I got 9. 96 by 5 is 450. 5 nines is 45. No, 6 5 is 30. 5 6 is 35. 9 is 45. Or 3 is 48. 480. Right?
So what is X equal to?
480 divided
By 6.
60.
What?
480 divided by 6.
And what's that equal to?
6 into 48. 6. 60. 60.
No.
Do it again.
No.
Do it again. Maureen.
5 6 is 30.
6 into 48 goes how many times, Maureen?
Which one she's doing? Oh.
C.
8.
So what's the answer, Maureen?
80.
80, not
Great.
60.
That's the answer. Yeah, I got that.
Okay. Mercedes, what do you have for D?
I'm just about to do it. I stopped to listen to what Marie said.
It's not a joke, man.
I was under, how did Maureen get 60?
I know. I got a hair by paper, go 80 by 60.
I figured you had it right. That's why I kept asking you. So what's the answer for D?
Okay, let's see.
underline. What's X equal to for D?
I'm gonna freeze this 21.
Okay.
What do you get, Mercedes?
X equals 3.
3.
Am I wrong this time? Wait, miss. Hold on. I'm right. Hold on.
That's 42 and 3 sevens is 21, right?
Miss, you say cross
70 is 210. What's
Right,
210
right.
divided by 42?
Oh, miss, sorry. I had 40 instead of 42. I'm sorry. I just missed the number. Sorry, let me do
Who is the joke now?
No, it's no joke with on you, Marie.
What did you get, Maureen?
Oh, I haven't divided it yet.
Okay, let me get
Let's
your
see.
answer. 210.
210, right? You say, right?
210
I got it.
divided by 42.
That's 5.
Right.
Got the answer?
I do the same.
What's the answer, Mercedes?
5.
5.
5. That's
Yeah,
correct.
I don't know where I
5.
get 40
Yeah,
from.
got 5 multiplied by 42 is 210.
When I look up, I say, oh, it's not 40, it's 42. Oh, boy.
That's it. That's just practicing your cross multiplication, because once you set these up, you have a cross multiplication, right? Okay, very good. Now let's go to, all right. I want you to find the ratio. Frida is baking brownies. She needs 1.5 cups of flour and 3/4 cups of sugar for one batch. What is the ratio of sugar to flour? Just
Sugar.
a pure ratio.
She didn't need baking brownies. She need 1.5 cups of flour, 3/4 cups of sugar. Oh,
What is the ratio of sugar to flour?
sugar. I don't know. It's a 3-to-1.
Maureen, you figuring it out or you guessing?
I figured it out, I guess.
Well, how did you figure it out?
You say she need 1.5 cups of flour and 3/4 of a cup of sugar for the batch. So it could be only 3-to-1. It can't be 1-to-3. It's 1.5 and 3 and 3/4. I don't know.
Quarter of a cup, 3/4 of a cup. It's a little less than 1, so you could say 1. Square it. And 1.5 cup is almost 2 cups. So I'm going to say B, Miss Barbara. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, you said B. Okay.
3-4 cups.
Squaring it, that's what I'm saying B. I'm squaring.
Squaring?
Yeah, I have to square it.
What do you have to square? There's no squaring here.
In my head. Hold on. I mixed up my sugar and the flour. Oh, hell. 1.5 cup of flour. That is...
You said cups. You say sugar to cups, right? Sugar is 3/4.
And sugar is 1/4 of a cup. It's a 3/4 cup, okay?
Remember, you've got ratio of sugar to flour, so the sugar has to be on the top and then 1.5 on the bottom.
Yeah, so it's 2-to-1.
No, how could it be 2-to-1? And you got your smaller number on the top.
The smallest number on the top.
Yeah, wait, 3/4. This is the way it was. This is the way your ratio should be.
Yeah, 3/4.
3/4. Well, let me just write it as a fraction.
You say sugar to flour, right?
Yeah, sugar. The ratio of sugar to flour. So that's 3/4.
Sugar.
And 1/2.
And 1.5 cups. And 1.5 is how, that's what? 3/2 or 6/4.
The answer is B.
6/4. fourth.
1, 2, 3 halves.
So what's the answer?
D.
No.
Why not?
3/4 to 6/4 is 3 to 6. 3 to 6 is 1 to 2.
I don't understand. What you just say, Miss Barbara? I'm sorry.
Okay, let me just.
All right,
It's
let me.
A. It's A.
Barbara, before you go
It's
to the
A.
answer,
You're right. It's
A.
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 You're right, Maureen. It's A.
Yeah.
Miss Barbara, before you go to the answer, let me tell you why I say D.
Why do you say D?
I said the 3 is the flower, right? Because I get 3 half in there, and then I get 1
Where
quarter.
you get 3 halves from?
Because you say 1.
Okay, that's 3 halves. You're right.
Yes, because 1 is 2 halves, and then the half
Yeah.
makes 3. That's why I say 3. And then
Why would
because
you say 3 now? You got to make them all the same fractions. You can't compare halves with fourths,
oh, you're right.
right, Mercedes? That's why I say you got to convert them all to fourths. 3 halves is 6/4.
3 half is 6/4.
And since they're over the same denominator, you could just make this 3 to 6.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
3 over
Oh,
6.
got you. I got your
Right?
idea now.
And that's just equal to 3 to 6 colon.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I
And
was
3 to
doing it.
6 is 1 to 2.
So I have to make all of them quarter to get the right answer.
That's it. You can't
So,
mix
and I was
them up here.
you're right, because the sugar is quarter.
That's right. So
So
you
and
gotta
there's
make
no
you got to
quarter
make the
in
flour quarter.
So if I put the flour into 6/4, that is 6 to 4, and then the sugar would be 1 on its own.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because 1.5 is 3 halves, right? And 3 halves is 6/4. Correct?
mhm.
Mhm.
And so now I can compare them because I have 3/4 cups of sugar, 6/4 cups of flour.
Got
And
you.
since they're over the same denominator, I could just say 3 over 6, which is 3 to 6 or 1 to 2. So answer A. So that's what you did, Maureen, to get A, or you guessed? Maureen, what did you do?
Oh,
I
you work
guess.
it, Barbara? Oh, you work it
Yes.
out. Oh, you work out
Sometimes
that
I can see things straight how it is. Sometimes I don't.
Oh, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah.
So 1 is the sugar and 2 is the flour.
That's the ratio. The ratio of sugar to flour is 1 to 2.
Let me show you get the 1 to 2. 1. Oh, you get the 1 to 2, miss.
That's 3 to 6. By both 3 by 3, get 1, and 3 and the 6 is 2. I just simplify it, just like simplifying a fraction, right? 3 over 6 is 1/2. What's half of 6? 3, 6, right? So that's 1/2, 1 to 2, correct? Mercedes, you follow what I'm saying?
No, I didn't get the
Okay,
6.
3 over 6, that's half of 6, right?
3 over 6 is half of 6.
So that means it's equal to 1/2.
Okay.
Or if you say you simplify 3 over 6 as a fraction, divide the numerator by 3, you get 1, divide the denominator by 6, you get 2. So 1 to 2. 1/2 or 1 to 2. But they gave it to you as a colon, so I have 1 to 2.
So what you do with the 6 over 4, you what you do with the 6 over
No,
4?
since I have 3 over 4 over 6 over 4, but the same denominator, I only need the numerator. Well, with the same denominator here, I only need the numerator, 3 over 6. Because they're the same denominator. I don't need to carry that 4. 3 over 4 over 6 over 4 is the same as 3 over 6.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, this 3 over 4 over 6 over 4 can be written as 3 over 6 because in terms of comparison, the denominators are the same. So my ratio will be the same.
And then 3 into 6 is 2.
Yeah, and 3 into 3 is 1, so I get 1 to 2.
Okay.
But since it said ratio of sugar to flour, your first number has to be smaller than your second number because you have less sugar than flour.
Yeah.
All
But
right, so it can't be B and D. You could just eliminate those because in those cases they're bigger, right?
yes, although I got it
And
wrong.
yeah, you got it. The first number that represents the sugar, it's
Yeah.
got to be smaller than the number represents the flour. Because look, 3/4 cups is smaller than 1.5 cups, right?
But why I'm complimenting myself a little, it get me to think that I could divide up, say the sugar was a half a cup. I could have get it right? Because let me think now, wait a minute. One whole is 2 half, and you're half again, that's 3. And if say the sugar was a half a cup, and the answer is yeah, I would get it right. But you let me show.
That's right, but I
Show me
didn't
that
give.
I can
Yeah,
divide up
that's it.
the
I didn't
all
give you
into,
half, so you
yeah,
can't compare
good.
halves to
Yes.
fourths. You got
Yes.
to
So
get them
it
all
showed
with
me
the
that I
same
could divide up
denominator.
right. I could divide up the whole into 4 quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and the half into 2, so I get 6.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah. If I had given you the 1/2 cup, and then so that'd be 3 halves and the 1/2, then it would have been, it wouldn't be 3 to 1 though, Mercedes. It would be 1 to 3. Because remember, you still have less sugar than you do flour. Because
yes.
1/2, you still have less. 1/2 is less than 1.5. So it'd be 1/2 to 3 halves or 1 to 3.
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah. Got you thinking what to do.
Okay. So when you have fractions like this, you remember you've got to get, just like you can't add fractions unless the denominators are the same. You can't subtract unless the denominators are the same, but you can multiply and divide. So it means you got to get these with the same denominator. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Maureen, you okay?
Yeah.
So that means you can just really knock out number 7, right? This is a ratio proportion. You got a ratio, and you can solve for, okay, so you got 3 shirts for every 2 shorts. Let's see. Let me put it. There's your ratio right there. 3 shirts every 2 shorts. So write that ratio. Now you got 15 shirts to pack. So how many shorts go with that 15? Now you got your ratio. There you go.
2 shorts.
So you got 3 shirts to 2 shorts. So write your ratio. 3
to 2
shirts. That's right. And that's 2 shorts. Let's put that underneath that. It's another proportion. Okay.
If she has 15 shirts.
2 shorts. All right, so let's just take this underline out and bring this up some. Now you finish that. Set that equal to the other part of the ratio that has an unknown.
We're gonna get 10.
What did Maria says?
Huh?
What did you
If
say?
she had 3 shirts, right?
This equal, that's 15
Right. So it stands to, so yeah, so be D.
over X. That what you got, Mercedes?
No, just start doing it.
And that's your unknown shorts.
Okay.
It's X.
What did you get, Maureen?
10.
And that's the answer. Is that what you got, Mercedes?
Yes, 10. 2 5s 10.
Answer D. Okay. Answer D. 2 times 15 is 30. Let's see. 3x 15, 2 is 30, and 30 divided by 3 is 10. Questions?
You said it another way.
It's more than one way to do it. I mean,
Oh,
I put shirts over shorts. You could put shirts over shirts.
I put shirts over shorts. I say three fives.
You said what?
No, I say 3 into 15 goes 5, and then I say two fives.
And then 5 times 2,
Yeah.
10. Yeah. It's always different ways to do the math. That's the beauty of math. It's not usually not just one way to do it. You use the way that's comfortable and convenient and quicker, actually.
Yes.
Because even though I'm going through the proportion, we don't always do them like this. Because sometimes mental math you can determine, right?
Yeah.
It's the hair
Because
stop
yeah,
story.
because 3 shirts and you 15, you got 5 more, 5 times the number of shirts. So you got to have 5 times the number of shorts. That's 10, right? Okay, it's good to have more than one way to do it. Okay, but for some people that don't see the answer, because not everybody see the answer like we see it, right?
Yeah.
People see answers different ways. Now, like a lot of problems with racial proportion, I probably wouldn't even use racial proportion because sometimes you can see the relationship and you can just split the math through it. But sometimes you don't see that and you may have to set it up. Okay, that's why it's good to know the racial proportion method. All right, now
Okay.
number
What time is
8
Miss Barbara? I'm
question.
sorry.
Question.
What time is class dismiss, Miss?
What? I'm sorry.
What time is class dismiss?
It's
Oh,
2 to 4.
so,
2 to 4.
so
We-
Martin.
2 to
Really?
4. We have 5 minutes.
That's
And just enough to do number 8.
Okay.
Okay, Maureen, read number 8 and just
Paradise
after
State
you read
University.
it, just tell me how do you think you would get it started?
Paradise State University home has 4,620 students and 2,520 are women. What is the ratio of men to women on the campus?
Okay, so what would be your first step, Maureen? Just tell me what would be your first step?
My first I will put what is the ratio of men?
No, what would be your first step?
I will put 620, right? Because I said what is the ratio of men to women? So the ratio is
Wait
4,620
a
to
minute. Think about it. That's students.
yeah,
That's a total,
a lot
Maureen.
of students.
yeah,
Be careful now. That's a total.
yeah, that's
So what
student,
would be
yeah.
your first step?
And okay, you say what is the ratio of men to
Men
women?
to women. So what would be your first step to solve this problem?
Subtraction.
I will put men and then women, right?
You didn't tell me your first step. What's your first mathematical step?
Men, I will put men to women, but
No. What is your first math step, Maureen?
you will put 2,550, right? Women, no men. Oh, I see.
What? There's something you don't know in this problem, but you can calculate it, Maureen. What is that?
You just know the women, but it doesn't know the men.
So
So
how could you find the number of men?
by subtracting
Yes, subtract what?
the women from subtract the 25, 20 from the 46, 20.
That's it. That's what I want you to say. You've got to find the number of men. You've got to subtract the 2,520 from the
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
So your first step is your 4,620 minus the 2,520.
Yeah.
And what does that give you?
2,100.
2,100. Okay. So now you know the number of men. Now you can keep going. Now find the ratio.
Okay.
Now you know the number of men, you know the number of women, so you should be able to find the ratio. So that would be what, Mercedes? What would that ratio look like as a fraction?
1 sec, miss. I'm just finish this little part and tell you. I'll reach further when she.
So
I want to make sure.
Number of men,
Minus.
number of men is
2100,
21.
and the number of women, 2520.
Oh,
Okay. Now put that over 2520 and simplify it.
2520.
What? Where get 2520 from? Oh, sorry.
Number of women.
Mm-hmm.
Now simplify that fraction and you'll have your answer. How do you
So then
find the least common multiple? How do you find the common factors here?
we can divide, right?
No, you don't want to divide.
Oh, I see.
Well, you could really simplify it. This you got 0, 0. You could make this 210 over 252. Let's make our number smaller. Now, think of the factors.
So I would say.
Think of a factor that will go into both of those.
I know.
Yeah, without living a Okay. So that is.
Think of factors you could multiply and get the top one and then see if it would work on the second one.
Let me try this too.
Think of your first hunch would be what?
2. Ooh, no. Let's try the bigger one.
Cross multiply, right?
No, you're not cross multiplying. All I'm doing, Maureen, is taking these zeros out to make my number smaller. So you got 210 over 252. Now think of factors here.
Oh. I heard it.
Now think of factors that will multiply and give you 210. Now, this one, once you find one of think of the largest common factor. And then once you find that, you can see if that would work in this one. And you'll probably find it will.
Okay. 3 by 7 is 21, right? 3 by 7 is 21.
No, think of a bigger factor.
I know.
What are 2 big numbers that multiply to give you 210? Maureen, the obvious one is what? What's the obvious one, Mercedes?
2.
I said
21.
largest.
7.
Largest. 21.
21.
Isn't 21 times 10 210? Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, 21 times 10 is 210.
Yes, true. That's true.
Okay, now see if that 21 will go in your 252 and give you an even number.
I get 25.2.
252 divided by 21. What do you get, Mercedes?
252 divided by 21.
Yes.
I got 12.
It's 10. 12.
Okay, so you got 10 and 12. So 10, 12 is which one of these ratios?
12 is 252 and 10 is for 210. That's a ratio.
So which one
C.
is correct? C, that's
Yeah.
right. C. Yep. Yeah, because you think of your biggest factor, and let me just put here
All right, Miss, I don't
21.
understand where you get a C.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is how you get it. Okay. Now, you said Mercedes is what equal, and that's 10, right?
Mhm.
And what did you say, Mercedes? You said you got 12 right here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 12. Back up.
And the other next one is 10.
That's 12. Now, okay, let me just take it.
Okay, stop,
You
Miss
got
Bob.
it? I can stop right here, right? Then you
Yeah.
simplify it.
2 into 10, 2 into 10, 5. So
Right,
that's
and 2 into 12, 6. So your answer is C, right?
Oh,
You got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we do right there with the two big numbers, we simplify it out.
Yeah,
And then
you try to think of your biggest factor. And the biggest factor is a 21. That's pretty obvious, like 210. 221 times 10 is 210. Then you say, well, let's see if that 21 will go by 2. Oh, yes, it goes 12. So I've got 10, 12. All I have to do is just simplify this, right? Just simplify 10 to 12 to 5 to 6. And that's just dividing both top number and bottom number by 2, right? But I was trying to get Maureen to give me her first step because you don't know your number of men, but if you know your number of women, you can just subtract and get the number of men, right?
Mhm.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yes, and if you should say use the big numbers then. Those big numbers and
Yeah,
those simplify
yeah,
them and do 21. You still go down to 100 and 120 and you still simplify them.
yeah. Well, first thing, like I say, you could just mark off these 2 zeros, make your number
Yeah.
smaller, right? Because you got a 0 here. And 2100 over 2520 is really the same as 210 over 252. Now, with the 210, you try to think of a big number, right? So
Okay.
you've got a 21. Say, well, 21 times 10 is 210. Maybe my 21 will go in my 252. And it does 12 times. So
Yes.
now you just simplify this. 2 into 10, 5, 2 into 12, 6, and you got your answer. But the thing to know about this, if it says men to women, here again, your smallest number should come first, right?
Okay.
So you can eliminate B and you can eliminate D. You can only have the smaller number first. So it's got to be either A or C. Got it?
Okay. So when you look at the fraction 10 over 12, no answer is there, so you have to break that down to get one the answer.
Well, yes, because you don't see 10 to 12 as one of the answers.
Exactly.
Right? So you say, well, but 10 to 12, I can simplify that to 5 over 6.
And then you get your
That's my answer.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, good thinking.
Okay, so we'll stop here, and your homework is going to be on ratio proportion only.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, just ratio and proportion.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the one that's not optional. That one is too. The one that we get on Monday is optional, but this homework would be 2. Okay.
Also, you say this one is not optional.
No, the one
We
we
can
get
give you the
on
answer. We cannot give you
Thursday,
the
that
answer.
means I need you to send me those answers before
But
Monday.
from Monday,
But when I give you the homework on Monday, that's optional. We'll do it in class, and you can do it if you like. You should try them, but you don't have to send me the answers.
let me go back there, miss. I want to get it straight in my head. This one, I don't have to give you the answer. But Monday, I have to.
No. The assignment I'm sending you today, Mercedes, is due to me before Monday.
Oh, good you.
All right. The one that I give you on Monday is optional. You don't have to send it in. You can try it, but you don't have to send them in because we will do them in class.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
We do them all in class. But the one that I will give you today, and it will be on ratio proportion only, that you should send me answer before Monday. Okay?
Okay.
Questions on anything we've gone over?
No.
Just let me talk to you after you get off recording.
What is it?
When
Okay.
you close record, let me say something to
Okay.
you.
Let's see. Let me